Bob Pompeani, Gene Collier at your service right here on the Sports Call, presented by Allegheny Health Network. It's 412-575-2600. On Twitter, Jason Albert says, Gene, why does Hurdle refuse to play small ball when the leadoff runner gets on in extra bases? Why do you think that is?
Analytics. Analytics have proven to the baseball people that a bunt is a waste in almost every circumstance. So you don't see that anymore. You're waiting for home runs and strikeouts. That's all baseball's about.
Jerry in Reynoldsville is next right here on the Sports Call. Hey, Jerry.
Hey, good evening, Bob.
Good
evening, Gene.
Hey.
One thing I just heard you talking about, that strikeouts and what have you, home runs, and got away from basics. I don't agree with that one bit. Not one bit do I agree with it. You get a runner on first base in Diaz.
That's what the tweeter just asked about.
The problem
Move him over.
with Frazier, you have one out and a runner on second base. You got two dibs at it.
Well, I think here's the thing about the Pirates.
There's a lot of people in the major leagues today that have no business being there.
Thanks for the call and the opinion. But, Gene, I think to your point, you're right. That's what they want. And the Pirates do not have enough power consistently in their lineup anyway. So in that situation, after I saw Diaz get on base, I was thinking the same thing in my mind. Why not bunt?
Yeah, I bunt him. But
just to take your shot, because if you do get a hit, somebody should be able to score from that position. But I don't know. They're not going to win the game on a walk-off. I mean, they do occasionally. I don't think something they can expect. Dana in North Hills is up. What's up, Dana?
Me.
How you doing?
I'm doing fine today. My whole initial reason why I'm calling is because of Steelers secondary. I had attended a game yesterday, and that secondary didn't look right at all. You know, the best individual who probably can help us with that secondary is probably Mike Hilton. This is the name that people need to watch for. Mm-hmm. But Ross Cottrell, he's flat-footed. He's only good in zone coverages. We need somebody better than Ross Cottrell. Is there anybody that can take this guy's spot?
Well, he's not. You know, if all things are right, eventually a guy like Cam Sutton, who's a third-round pick, is supposed to be the guy, but he's not even ready to play. Neither is Sanquez Golson. So, Gene, Cockrell was beat twice by Reggie Davis, who's down on their depth chart as wide receiver. Artie Burns should be good enough, but if you're going to try to do press man, which I know they want to do more of, number one, you have to have healthy bodies to do it. Number two, you better be successful in winning those one-on-one battles, and yesterday Cockrell was not good enough.
Yeah, I mean, the Steelers are hoping somebody emerges to take Ross Cockrell's place, but no one has, either because of injury or, slow development or what have you. And, Mike Mitchell's not back there, and the secondary is not going to look good until he gets back there.
Let's go to Tyler in Mount Lebanon, who joins us now on the Sports Call. Hey, Tyler.
Hey, how you doing, Bob?
What's
Great
up?
Show.
Thank you.
Hey, I'm just curious. Is Gene actually alive?
All right, let's go out to Brad in Duncansville. What's up, Brad? How you doing?
Good, Bob and Gene. How are you guys?
What's going on?
I have a Steelers question about the Post-Gazette about Steelers signing Colin Kaepernick.
Yeah, that was Paul Zeiss, I believe, right? He made a column.
Yeah.
Strongly urging the Steelers to do it.
And I want to know, my Steelers question and my part comment, what would they sign him, like, how much money would they give him?
Well, they're not going to do it, in my estimation, because they don't need to do it, in my estimation. What else do you want before I get Gene's comments? Is that it?
The other part comment is the reliever they have down in AAA. He has 12 saves with a 1.78 ERA. It's Jason Stoffel.
Well, he's not coming up here, and he's not going to be of any use, Brad. Thanks for the call. Gene, what about Kaepernick? I think Paul, I understand what he's doing there, but I also think that's one of those situations you're throwing it out there. I don't see any way the Pirates or the Steelers are going to do that. They believe in what they have in Roethlisberger, number one, but I think they think Landry Jones is good enough to be for a game or two. If they need anything more than that, they're going to be in trouble regardless, right?
The only way they do that is if both of them are hurt. Failing that, they like Landry Jones. They consider Landry Jones one of the better backups in the league.
They do. He's out with an oblique, which is a problem, but that kind of stuff goes on. You got to just wait and see what happens with it. All right, let's go out to John in Coriopolis. What's up, John? How are you?
Hey, how you doing, Bob? Love
Good.
the show, buddy. Awesome all the time. I wanted to talk Steelers with you and Mean Gene.
Go right ahead.
Before we put T.J. Watt in the Hall of Fame, we need to start worrying about our buddy Le'Veon Bell. Is he above the team? I know he had the franchise tag. Why hasn't he came out to practice with the team yet? I mean, this doesn't make sense.
Well, one of the reasons why, and John, I appreciate your call and your viewership here.
He needs to get pumped. That's
Well, thanks for the call. One of the things that he is afraid of is what happened tonight in that New York game, where you saw Beckham Jr. get hurt, Gene. And quite frankly, you don't want him to come in here right now and play and get hurt. He's not going to play anyway, right? If you're the Steelers, are you going to play Le'Veon Bell in any of these games?
Well, if he was here the whole time, he might play as often as Ben and AB, which is going to be one game or 2 series of one game. But he's not here, and it's not really bothering me at all. I mean, if you want to stay healthy, this is a good thing to avoid preseason football. And then, of course, there's real season football. It's another thing to avoid.
Yeah, I think he'll be in. I think he'll sign it, and I think all will be forgotten, right? I mean, I don't see any other conclusion. People are making a big deal because the Steelers are putting some pressure on him, but I think a bigger issue is what kind of year he will have, Gene, and how that impacts next year. Sure. Will we go through the same drill?
Probably.
Do you think maybe their plan is franchise 2 years in a row and then part company?
I do. I
It could be.
That's the plan.
All right, we're going to take a break. Come back with more right after this.